Drama in Dalton continues. Tiffany Henyard held in direct criminal contempt. Instead of indirect criminal contempt, direct criminal contempt. She must also comply with orders of protection against her. Jedediah Brown as an order of protection, an emergency order of protection against Tiff and her married boyfriend, Kamal Woods. Let's get into it. Here we go. All right, let's back up and take just a quick peek, see it. What got us to where we are now? Let's start with the order of protection, right? Here we go.
Chaos erupted at a local board meeting outside of Chicago, with the self-proclaimed super mayor Tiffany Henyard at the center. People knocking over furniture and smashing.
That's a brawl. That's a brawl.
Who were inside.
It was scary. It was horrible. That's an embarrassment.
It should have never come to blows. And Tiffany should have never got involved.
The Board of Trustees said they are, quote, deeply saddened and disturbed by the events that took place. And, quote, our hearts go out to the residents who continue to witness such turmoil. Henyard did not immediately respond to NBC News' request for comment. She has previously said the financial accusations are political retaliation and has threatened legal action. But tonight, as she makes headlines once again and goes viral for fighting, there are renewed concerns about her leadership.
This is the third time this year that this case has been before a Cook County judge. Today, the owners of the business are able to walk away with 2 of the 3 liquor licenses they applied for, while Mayor Henyard is facing a serious charge from the judge. Frustration and relief for a small business owner.
It's about time.
Tiffany Kamara left a Cook County courtroom with the liquor licenses she needs to open St. Patrick's, a family-owned restaurant and banquet hall on Lincoln Avenue in Dalton.
This should have been over, like you said, in November.
Kamara took legal action after she says she wasn't able to obtain licenses from Mayor Tiffany Henyard, who also serves as liquor commissioner. On Wednesday, Cook County Judge Cecilia Horan gave Henyard until 5 p.m. Thursday night to sign the licenses, but that deadline not met.
Didn't do it.
Friday, Henyard signed them after the judge threatened her with contempt. After the licenses were signed, the judge found Henyard in indirect criminal contempt, but she wasn't taken into custody.
There are different kinds of contempt. What that means is that in the...
Okay, so that's how we got where we are. That was a Friday ago. I'm recording this for you on a Thursday. So last Friday that happened. And then on Monday, we had Lori Lightfoot, former prosecutor, former mayor of Chicago, Lori Lightfoot's report on the, all the Tiff stuff. Got a podcast out there on that. And then Tuesday, we had, next day after that, we've had a lot of Tiff news, haven't we? It has just been stuff just going on. On Tuesday, the day after the Lori Lightfoot report, we had the first Township of Thornton meeting where we've got the new trustee in place. After, the 60 days went by and we're able to get a new trustee for Jerry Jones, who stepped down for personal reasons. We had all this drama, trustees not showing up because they didn't want Tiff to put her own person in place. Well, now we've got the ability for the Township of Thornton to get some stuff done. And Jedediah Brown, he said some very disparaging things. Things that other people are thinking, but he really baited them. But let's read the article here and then we'll talk about that part. During today's hearing, this was written today. During today's hearing on the liquor license dispute, where Tiffany Henyard, as mayor of Dalton, Illinois, refused to sign liquor licenses for a local business, St. Thomas. People in Dalton, got to make sure you go there, give them some business, because Tiff is doing everything she can to not allow them to open up, even though she claims, well, we've got this LLC name on the license. It's like, yeah, but the judge isn't backing up the nonsense that you're talking about. So refused to sign liquor licenses for a local business and was ordered by the court to sign them. She didn't. She said, I got that. And she literally started talking in circles. And the judge said, you're in indirect contempt. The judge cleared up that what was in the docket from last week. So held in indirect contempt last Friday, comes to court. They've got this hearing. The judge stated she will correct the docket to reflect Henyard is in direct criminal contempt. Oof, that's an upgrade. She got upgraded, but it's not to first class. As opposed to the entry stating indirect criminal contempt. What does that mean? It's a little bit worse, right? For her refusal to obey the court order last week, the village and Henyard have 14 days to provide a written response to the contempt issue. That should be interesting. And the issue of Henyard claiming there are no package liquor licenses available. All right. Henyard is saying no packaged liquor licenses available, while at the same time, the village clerk says there are packaged liquor licenses available. Hey, you want economic development to come into your town like you went to Vegas for twice and you didn't have any business come out of that? How about businesses that want to open, have families come in, people do some eating, people do some drinking, they bring business to the check cashing place next door, all that good stuff. The big anchor stores, big anchor businesses, big anchor restaurants, they bring in other people to the community. Let's go over there and do whatever after they have a nice big meal. But you can't do that if you're not open. I don't know if you knew that, but yeah, that's how this works. Yeah. So Tiffany Henyard, for whatever reason, was it political? Was it whatever? Additionally, but not part of today's hearing, Jedediah Brown was granted emergency orders of protection against Thornton Township Supervisor Tiffany Henyard and her married boyfriend as a direct result of the brawl that we just saw that occurred during the last Thornton Township Board meeting. This story just does not stop. It just keeps going. This is going to go right into the ground. I mean, I jokingly said Tiffany Henyard's got a career on OnlyFans. That's rather derogatory. But relative to what Jedediah Brown said, I think he said, and if you're against profanity, I get it. But this is a legit news show here, right? We've got to get to the truth. He said, I believe in quotes that she f***ed her way to the top. Okay. That was her comment regarding her sex life. I don't think she did, because she gave her married boyfriend a job at the Township of Thornton that he wasn't qualified for. So she's more like the sugar mama. She doesn't have sugar daddies, doesn't appear. I mean, not like, say, let's just throw out, Kamala Harris with Willie Brown. That is effing your way to the top. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's legit. Now, so what Jedediah Brown said, she's effing her way to the top. She's a bad mom. Honestly, isolate it to Township of Thornton issues. Don't bring people's personal stuff in, right? She's a mom. Okay, let her screw around with that on the side. Whatever. That's her thing. Is she a bad mom? I don't know. Should we be listening to Jedediah Brown on this? Absolutely not. But then, he said a bunch of stuff, and they were fighting words. I don't think it's kind of like when Will Smith went up and popped Chris Rock. I mean, should he have done it? No, but Chris Rock kind of really went off on that direction. And, you kind of get what you get, but everybody was just like, oh, Will Smith, Chris Rock had it coming. I'm a huge Chris Rock fan. I am not a Will Smith fan. But when somebody says something like that, but then, then you got to suffer the consequences. And what is that? Well, we've got an emergency protection order. I'm kind of surprised a judge would give that. The judge must have been able to see through this melee enough where there must be some direct evidence. I mean, I saw Kamal Woods, Tiffany Henyard's boyfriend, in video, literally going after Jedediah Brown. But you got a long history of these folks kind of going at it. And Jedediah Brown is no saint. He's just not. He's an activist, doesn't even live in Dalton, doesn't live in Thornton. He's had, some emotional issues. He's been arrested a bunch of times. He does what he can to get to get whatever influence he can. And he's doing a great job of it because we're talking about it right now. We're saying Jedediah Brown. His stuff is working. If you want to go down that road, you can. That's not the road I would go down. But also, I am not I'm not a proponent of activists because I think they're just a lot of loud words and a lot of loud talk, and they don't really get anywhere. I think the village of Dalton brought Jedediah Brown in, and I think that was a mistake. That shouldn't happen. I don't think that he brings a healing component to Dalton, which is what you guys need right now, into the village of Thornton. He doesn't bring that. He brings hey, let's be super adversarial. I'm going to talk about you way to the top. I'm going to talk about what a bad mom you are. And, talk about, Tiffany Henyard never getting married. She's dating a married dude. Okay. All right. Does that impact her ability to be mayor? Does it impact her ability, Township of Thornton? Go where you want with that. I would choose to leave that alone. But then again, I'm not an activist, right? I'm a news guy in Seattle. Not even a news guy. I'm a real estate guy. Let's be honest. But I read some news. Every now and then I'll read you guys a story, right? Hey, just pop off with the story. Here we are. So that's what I've got on this one. This is going to keep going because the judge is going to say, hey, you need to bring your response. This is like a teacher saying, you've been bad. I'm punishing you. Here is your assignment. On the weekend, I'm going to need you to come up with a reason why you didn't give this individual her liquor license. And then also keep your boyfriend from physically hitting Jedediah Brown, because Jedediah Brown got probably what he deserved, but that is also not legal. And judges have this tendency to hand out protection orders when somebody gets hit. That's kind of how it goes. But it's usually somebody hitting the one in charge, right? And then they take out the protection order, but not in Dalton, not in Township of Thornton. That's just not what we're doing. It's the other way around, because we've got this train wreck of leadership that is rapidly coming to an end. And you know what? We are not going into the night quietly. Tiffany Henyard is going out in just a spectacular fashion of flames. And we're going to podcast each one of those incidents. And this is another couple, right? There's another couple here. Actions have implications. Here we are. Good, bad, or indifferent. It is what it is, right? It is what it is. And I will continue covering this until the bitter end, which I think is going to be in April. It's going to be in April. We've got another handful of months of this because that's when the next election is. And that's when things kind of really start to shift to the new world order, which is no Tiff. Tiff's you're only going to be able to find her on OnlyFans. Or, you know what? I think it's not OnlyFans anymore. After watching her jump in and push that table aside, run down the middle and just jump in there, I'm thinking maybe UFC. I'm thinking maybe MMA. I don't know. Something like that. Maybe wrestling. Lots of famous people go into wrestling. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I could see it. Could you see it? Yeah. All right. That's it for me on this one. Thanks so much for being here. Catch up with you in the next one. Bye for now.